say that I learned a lot from my study abroad experience would be an understatement. Being immersed in a culture different from your own is the greatest learning experience you can ever have. I studied abroad in Queretaro, Mexico, and there I was immersed in the language of Spanish and also took a class about the importance of culture in education. Even though I was only in Mexico for 6 short weeks, I was able to travel around and see so much of Mexican culture that I had no idea existed. We visited the historically significant Mexico City, and I was able to visit the home of my favorite artist, Frida Kahlo, and view the famous work of Diego Rivera. The thing that stuck out to me the most was that Mexico was not all like the way it is painted in the United States media. It is a beautiful country with beautiful culture and so much to learn from it. My number one fear before my study abroad trip was living with a host family. I was so nervous for it I could hardly bear it before meeting them for the very first time. I'm a fairly private person, so becoming close to strangers is not an easy task for me, even in my own home culture. Unfortunately, as it turned out, my fear became a reality. I was not comfortable at all in my environment there, which made it hard to focus on my goals of the trip. Our cultural differences were too much, so I had to make a change early on in the trip. Communication plays such an important role in every type of relationship. When there is a break in communication, often it is hard to maintain. Expressing feelings in a language that is unfamiliar to you can be even more difficult. Reading about being ready for cultural immersion and actually being immersed are two totally different things. Learning about cultural responsiveness the hard way is not easy, but I learned so much from my trip to Mexico and I wouldn't change it for the world.